Hello, I'm Denise Phillips, professional chef and cookery writer from Northwood United Synagogue. Today's video we are focusing on Purim, which is coming up very soon, starting Wednesday 16th of March. So I just thought that we would focus on the delights and foodie elements of Purim. Purim, in fact, means lots in Hebrew and refers to the way in which Haman chose the 13th day of the Jewish calendar of Adar as the date for the massacre of the Jews in Persia. And the heroine of the story is called Esther, and this also means hidden. So connecting with the food part of these wonderful Hamantaschen is a hidden filling. And also other foods that connect with over Purim are kreklach, and they've got a hidden filling too. So the word Hamantaschen, which is the traditional and the classic food that we have at this time of the year, derived from two German words, mon, meaning poppy seed, which is the most popular filling, and Taschen, meaning pockets. Around the late 1500s, German Jews dubbed them Hamantaschen as Haman's pockets, in reference to the feeling that evil Haman's pockets were filled with bribe money. Plus, the word Haman, mon, sounds like the word Haman. So, in Israel, something a little bit different, they are called oznei Haman, ears. And why ears? Well, there is a midrash, a legend, which says that when Haman entered the king's treasury, he was bent over with shame and humiliation, literally bent over with clipped ears. So, let's make these delicious creations. All my recipes are on my website, jewishcookery.com, and I will show you exactly how to make it, step by step, the Denise's way. Anything is easy when you know how. So, using my food processor, I'm going to add the ingredients to make this delicious tahini pastry. So let's just add all those lovely ingredients. So we've got plain flour, and we've got, this is regular vegetable oil, and as I said, tahini. Now this is just a plain tahini. As I say, you can get different flavours, so in that goes. And this recipe you can make in stages. You can make the pastry in advance, pop that in the fridge if you want, come back to it. This is vanilla essence, caster sugar. I'm going to give it a little bit of a whiz just to get the mixture moving. Okay, let's add our 2 eggs, a little bit of baking powder, all right, chopped chocolate. I'm just going to give it a whiz and then add the chocolate. All right, it's beginning to come together. It's not quite there yet, but I promise you it will. All right, so adding some, this is chopped, actually they're little chocolate drops I've roughly chopped. A tiny bit of salt. It's always good to have a little bit of salt and something sweet. It just balances it all out. And then I've got a little bit of water to mix it together. Right, so let's add, this is a little bit of water, just about there. You can see now the mixture has come together. I'm just going to remove that, and then we leave it to rest in the fridge for about half an hour. So I'm going to remove this. Be careful with your sharp blade. Taking some cling film, and you can see how this just binds together. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous tahini pastry. All right, so just to push this into some cling film. I'm going to flatten this down, and I'm going to put that into my fridge. So let's remove all these things out of the way. All right, so, and of course, I now have, here's some I've got earlier. And this is a really good tip. What I'm going to do now is roll out the Hamantaschen pastry, so that's tahini and chocolate. But I'm rolling it out between two pieces of cling film. Firstly, it means you don't add any more flour. And secondly, it means that it doesn't stick. Now, a few good tips about making your Hamantaschen, whatever recipe you use. Don't overfill the filling because it oozes out. Recommend that you use a cookie cutter. Now, I'm using this one that's actually 7.5 centimetres. I feel that's kind of a good size for bite size, but you could make giant ones. I've got a new recipe on my Instagram with a giant size Hamantaschen. So I'm just going to use this, and this is the flat side. You could use crinkly, but we're just going to use the uncrinkled sort of plain one. And here we have our Hamantaschen in the creation. And now for the filling. Now the filling is also more halva and tahini with a little bit of water. So I'm just going to take a little bit of mixture. I'm just going to demonstrate one for you before we move on. So put some in the middle and very gently squeeze the sides. Another really good tip is squeeze it really, really tight together so that you cannot see the filling at all. The Americans, in fact, make their fillings that you can, in fact, see it. They actually fold their recipes. You fold it in layers. So they look quite different. They're equally yummy, but they do look different. So this is how your Hamantaschen is going to look. You're going to put it on a tray lined with baking parchment paper. You're then going to put this into the oven on 180 degrees centigrade, 300 degrees Fahrenheit, gas mark 4, for about 15 to 20 minutes. So when they come out the oven, they look like this. So look at these gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful biscuits. So I like to continue with the theme that I've got here. I'm going to finish this off with more chocolate and more halva. Let me just show you some of the halva, the different flavours. This is a chocolate one made by Sesame Kingdom. It is just divine, and I know readily available at all the kosher shops. So I'm now going to take some melted chocolate. Got this gorgeous chocolate. Just remember, when you melt chocolate, put this over a bowl of boiling water so that it doesn't touch any water. And what we're going to do now is just very, very carefully drizzle some chocolate over this. And then time is of the essence, because now you need to add the halva, because while the chocolate is warm, it will in fact stick the halva. So I've got some ready chopped halva, and I'm just going to sprinkle that on top. And then you can put them in the fridge to set, because that chocolate will harden and the halva will stick to it. So these are how they're going to look when they're finished. These were the Hamantaschen I made earlier. I hope you've enjoyed my culinary treats with Hamantaschen. As I say, there's always something delicious, but it's also got meaning. So I want to pass you on now to Rabbi Zerbib, who's going to give you the spiritual element of this video about Purim. Thank you very much. Purim Sameach.
Thank you so much, Denise. And Purim Sameach. I'm so happy to be here. And we are going to talk about the 4 M&Ms. The first M, we have mitzvah on Purim to read the Megillah. Megillah. Second is Mishloach Manos, which is to give a parcel which has 2 types of food to friends. Third one is Matanot LaEvyonim, two portions to 2 different types of poor people on the day of Purim. And then the 4th M&Ms, which is Mishteh. Now let's talk a second about Mishteh. Mishteh means a feast. We don't find this throughout the holidays. We have Seudah, we have meals we have good food on Shabbat and Yom Tov, but on Purim there's an extra element, just as all the others. There's an extra element to go out there, and the extra element of mishteh is to drink. What type of drink? Well, the rabbis talk about drinking wine to be a little bit tipsy, maybe not too much, in order to not to differentiate between Arur Haman and Baruch Mordechai, to mix it up. But what type of mishnah we're talking about? Wine. Now, if you look at the Talmud doesn't have a good connotation when we talk about drinking too much. Actually, it says in the Talmud that wine was created either for people that are mourning, that are very, very sad, in order to cheer them up, or for evil people to give them a little bit benefit for the good things that did in this world. So like two extremes. But nevertheless, why is it that we talk about the wine on Purim? And their answer is that on Purim we have to go out there with all those people around us to be happy, but more importantly, we have to look inside. On Purim day, when we drink more than usual, suddenly we look in our inner selves, we reveal what's hidden inside us. So, the same theme about Purim, that's whatever is hidden is revealed, and what's revealed is hidden. So too, what we need to do on Purim is to reveal what's within inside ourselves. But just be careful, do not drink too much, drink responsible, and make sure you have a mishnah. Mishnah is not just about drinking, but it's about drinking with happiness. So remember the 4 M&Ms and do that mitzvah, and I wish you a beautiful and happy Purim. Chag Sameach.